YouTube, Biker Mike back out here in the old trusty rusty 2005 GMC Sierra. So I thought I'd do this video on a repair I made a couple months ago on the HVAC controls with a problem I was having with my HVAC control, particularly on the driver's side only. And what was happening was the heat mode would just go into full heat and I wasn't able to adjust it with the slider here. And you know, that's not very good in the middle of summertime when all of a sudden it starts blasting heat out instead of air conditioning. So what the problem ended up being was a blender door motor, and I'll get to that in a second here. But after I replaced the blender motor, I had to recalibrate it. So it might be worth just trying the recalibration procedure for this, and I'll go over that first, and then I'll show you where the blender door motor is. It's actually really easy to get at. Fortunately, the one that went bad in my truck was for the driver's side, and it's really simple and easy to get at. So I'll show you that in a minute, but I'm just going to go over the procedure on how to recalibrate this, because sometimes they can get out of calibration and that can happen. So it might be worth trying to do that first. One other thing to note, this is going to be a recalibration procedure for vehicles that have the manual control. So it's a little bit different if you have the digital one, but it's not too different. So I'll go over it right now. So with the key in the ignition, engine not running, but everything on, I'm just going to set the blower motor to the #1 position and then lower the controls down to just above the bottom. So about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch up, both of them. Then I'm going to take the key out of the ignition and we're going to go out to the power distribution fuse box under the hood. So out here under the hood, I've taken the lid off the fuse box here. We're going to need to locate the HVAC fuse. And you can see right here, it's a 10 amp and it's right beside the cigarette lighter. So in my truck, it's going to be this one right here. And you're just going to want to keep it out for 1 minute. And then after a minute's up, you're going to put it back in. So with the fuse reinstall, I'm going to start the truck up and let it run for 1.5 minutes. Now at the end of it, you're going to want to turn off the engine and then leave it turned off for 10 to 30 seconds, but no more than 30. So go with 20 seconds. And then after that, you can start it back up again and everything should be recalibrated. I'll type out these instructions on the screen here and you'll be able to do a screen grab or write it down, and then you'll have all the instructions to do that procedure. So to replace the blender motor that controls the driver's side hot and cold temperature, you're going to need to remove the cowling that's underneath the dash down below. There's 3 or 4 screws that hold that into place. You'll need a 7mm socket on a nut driver and a ratchet to get those off. Alright, so with this cowling out of the way, you can come down here and you can see the blender door actuator motor right here. So you just need to pull this connection off. You just push in at the back of it right here and pull straight down, and that'll come out. And then you just get up in there with a little 7/32 socket and you can back out all the screws that hold it up into place. Now once you get the blender motor out, you want to make sure that you keep the actual post that's connected to the damper in the correct position, and make sure the new one goes right back up in the exact same way the old one came out. And with the new motor bolted back up in there, you can reconnect it and then go through the whole recalibration procedure. And this definitely solved the issue for my truck. And if you need one of these, they're relatively inexpensive. I'll leave a link in the description of where you can get them. Luckily, it was the easiest one to get at to do the driver's side. The other ones are all buried up in the dash. They can be done as well, but luckily I didn't have to do that on my truck. It was just this one, and I haven't had any issues with the temperature control motor having a mind of its own anymore and switching it over to heat in the middle of summertime. So hopefully you guys found that video helpful. Like I said, it definitely worked for mine. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe. I've got lots of videos on this old truck of mine. I also have a lot of stuff on power sports, ATVs, snowmobiles, dirt bikes, and anything else that I think somebody would find helpful. That's what I like to do, is help people with these videos. So once again, thanks for watching. Biker Mike out.